Hello. Hello, Nevada. I have to be honest with you. I'm a Californian. But I have to tell you one thing. There are Grenell voters in Nevada. Just so you know. It's really good to be here. Good to be here with my friend Adam Laxalt. This is an amazing event. Thank you, Adam, for putting this whole thing on. Really appreciate it. Looks amazing. I hope I'm getting some pictures with this Nevada flag and the American flag. I love you. You know, looking at this American flag makes me think of the Olympics that we just saw, right? The lowest rated Olympics we've seen in the history of our country. It started off because we had a whole bunch of people who have USA on their shirts, but were afraid to represent our country. And I have to tell you something, this is something that I can say. Because when I saw the women's soccer team, which, this is what I can say, is filled with lesbians. And the reality is, 69 countries around the world criminalize homosexuality. 9 will put you to death for being gay. And on the world stage, when our women went to the Olympics, and they're competing with many of those countries that criminalize homosexuality, they should have been the first ones to wave the American flag and say, this is the greatest country in the world. And Megan Rapinoe should have said, I am living the American dream. I'm the Subway sandwich spokeswoman. I'm making millions of dollars. And yet, what did she do? She missed her opportunity on the world stage. She missed her opportunity to help other people in her situation. And instead, she took a knee for the American flag. Now look, I have to tell you, this is the greatest country in the world because we have our freedoms. And you get to do whatever you want. But every single great civilization has lasted 250 years roughly. The Ottoman Empire, the British Empire, the Holy Roman Empire. They've all lasted roughly 250 years, and you have to ask yourself, where are we? Well, we're butting up against that. And the reality is, we have 7th, 8th, 9th generation Americans who hate being here in America because they haven't traveled the world enough. They don't know what it's like to live under fascism. They don't know totalitarianism. But guess what? 1st and 2nd generation Americans love this country. They know what they left. They're the loudest supporters of Donald Trump and the Republican Party right now. They see what it's like when the media have groupthink. You know, I talk about this on social media a lot, but I'm beyond criticizing the media for being biased. I actually don't think they're biased. Biased is a really generous term for them. Because bias assumes that they're trying to do the right thing and they just have some personal experiences that spin them in the wrong direction. But the reality is, we have a whole group of people in Washington, D.C. covering the media that are protecting the ruling class, that are part of the ruling class. They want to go to the cocktail party circuits. They want to make sure that they're friends with the cool kids. I've never seen it like this before in my life. I started out in politics being a press secretary, which means you're the key person for the media and the politician. For 20 years, the media would call constantly whenever they were going to write about my boss or me. They would call and they'd say, hey, I'm hearing this, and this is what I want to write. They would give you a chance to respond. They would give you a chance to state your viewpoint. Those days are gone. We have a media that literally do not call people before they write about them. They write recklessly. They don't check facts. They report on their colleagues. I've never seen this before, where they'll say, well, ABC is reporting, so NBC and Politico get to say what they want. Because all they have to do is say, well, another person said it. That's, when I was a kid, that's what we called the game of telephone. And it always ended erroneously from the original statement. And as a kid, we thought that was funny. As an adult, I think it's really dangerous. And that's what we're faced with right now. We have a media that are not speaking truth to power. They're not questioning what this Biden administration is doing. And let's talk about that. You see, the border has now become a total catastrophe. We in the Trump administration, we had it under control. It was getting better every single month. Today, it's out of control and it's getting worse every single month. You look at Afghanistan. I don't think it's too dramatic to say that Joe Biden has armed the Taliban. What he has done would have been an article of impeachment if Donald Trump did it. We would have already seen Congress coming together. But there's a double standard. And we all know that. You've been hearing it for a long time. You know it. You see it in your world. But I've got one thing that I really want to leave with you. We are at a crucial point in our country. We cannot sit on the sidelines anymore. I'm so tired of hearing people say, well, I'm afraid of being canceled. We're half the economy, people. We're half of the country, at least. And we need to act like it. When someone says they want to cancel you, say, well, I want to cancel you. Our grandfathers and great-grandfathers stormed the beaches of Normandy. And all we're asking is for you to storm Facebook. Stand up. Be counted. What you have to do is you have to start saying to your friends that this is a country that was built on diversity and tolerance. And if you can't listen to another person's viewpoint without running out of the room and putting your fingers in your ears or trying to cancel that person, then they are the ones who are tearing down America. They are the ones who are not for diversity. They are the ones who are intolerant. And we've got to be much more aggressive about standing up for what we believe and also protecting other people. When you hear somebody stand up, support them. Go immediately and speak up for them. We've got to have people who are courageous. And I have to say that we are pushing. We can't make any announcements here about Adam's future. But as a close friend of Adam's, I'm telling you, I am pushing him hard that on Tuesday maybe he'll make an announcement. But I'm pushing him hard. I'm hoping. I'm really hoping that we hear something positive because Adam Laxalt is one of those people that's courageous.